Do women respond better to GLP-1 medications than men do? That is the topic for today. Hi guys, my name is Brittany if you are new here, and I have been on a GLP-1 journey since November of 2022. I've lost 85 pounds, and here on my channel, I love to share all things GLP-1, my personal story, things that I've learned. I'm a researcher at heart, and so I love to learn, and I love to share what I have learned with you guys. So today we are talking about a couple of different studies that I have found that talk about, like I said, how women are losing more weight on GLP-1 medications. Now, I do want to disclaim that most of the studies that we are going to be discussing did include more females. Like the participant number was a lot higher for females versus what it was for men, but I don't necessarily know that that matters, but I do want to disclose that. Also, I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing with you guys what I have learned through research. Always talk to your healthcare professional before making any decisions about your health journey. So Eli Lilly obviously has been the big researcher on Tirzepatide because they are the ones that founded Mounjaro and Zepbound. And so they have been doing what has been called the Surmount study. And that study included 4,677 participants, of which 2,999 were females and 1,678 were men. So we have over 1,000 more men or females than we do males in this study. But what this study did is it studied individuals with type 2 diabetes and obesity over a course of 72 weeks. Participants were given different max out doses. So some people would go up to 5 and then stay there. Some would go to 12.5 and stay there, et cetera, et cetera. And it followed those people for different side effects, different things happening over the course of the study. And what the study found overwhelmingly was that women do lose more weight on GLP-1s than men do. In fact, women lost an average of 24.6% of their body weight, while men lost 18.1% of their body weight. So we have over 6% difference. Now, there are some one very easy answer for this is women's fat content. So obviously women have a higher fat content naturally in their bodies than men do. And this could be a major reason why women lost more weight and why they responded better to the GLP-1. Women typically have more weight to lose in terms of their body mass index than men do, unless you are a very significantly overweight male. Males do not carry as much fat around, do not hold as many fat cells as females do. And so that could be the very easy answer for that, is that women would lose more weight. They have more fat than men do. However, I don't think that it is necessarily just as simple as that. I don't think that's the be all end all to the answer or to the study. So research suggests that yes, women have the higher fat content, but also that women respond differently to hormone replacement therapy, which is what this is. We are replacing the GIP and the GLP-1 hormone within the body when we take Tirzepatide, and the GLP-1 when we take Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide. So with hormone replacement therapy, women, or just with hormones in general, women have a vast array of hormones in their body, and our hormone levels over the course of our lifetime change drastically more than men's do. And this is for a few different reasons. It changes drastically when we go through puberty and start our menstrual cycle. It changes when we have babies. It changes after we have a baby, and that is postpartum hormones are a major thing. If you know, you know. Then it changes when we go through the change of life, when we go through menopause. It changes monthly when we have our cycle. Women's hormone levels are literally constantly changing throughout our lives, whereas men, for the most part, they go through puberty. They have these sort of jumps and changes in hormone within that scope time period of their life. And then that's pretty much it. They don't have those constant up and down hormonal changes throughout life like women do. And because of this, women just tend to respond at a larger, quicker, faster rate to hormones than men do, because our bodies were literally designed to go through hormonal changes. That's what our bodies were made for. We were made, our bodies were thought up and designed and made to produce children. I mean, ultimately, that is the main difference between a female body and a male body, is that females feed children, produce children, grow children, and because of that, our bodies were made to respond to hormones in a different way than men's were. And so when you're talking about replacing hormones in the body that are deficient, female bodies are going to respond to those hormones differently than men's bodies are. And that leads me into the next thing that the next point in this topic is metabolism. So females' metabolisms are notoriously slower than male metabolisms. And this is for a couple of things. One, we need the fat retention. Our bodies need to store and metabolize things differently than men do in order to, again, feed babies, birth babies, grow babies. Our bodies need to respond differently to everything in terms of our metabolism. And so when you're talking hormone replacement therapy and you're putting a hormone into your body that's going to be metabolized through your body, if you have a slower metabolism, then your body is going to process that medicine slower, meaning keep it in your system longer, and meaning it could end up being more effective for you, especially if you are somebody who is deficient in the GLP-1 hormone. Whereas men are burners, right? Like men tend to eat something and it goes right through them. I mean, I can tell you from living with men, which I'm sure most women can also say, man, y'all go to the bathroom more than anybody ever. Like my son can eat food and his body processes it so fast that within like 2 hours, he's going to the body, right? So that means that the whole metabolism process is faster because, your body goes through breaking food down, deciding what it needs to keeping that food, then getting rid of the waste. And that whole process in a male body is astronomically faster than it is in a female body because of all of those things that I mentioned. And so when you take all of this into consideration, it makes sense that the females would respond better to hormone replacement therapy and therefore lose more weight on these GLP-1s than the male counterparts are. Men typically just lose weight easier than women do anyways. And I think it's really cool that we're actually finally figuring out something that is working so well for women. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, women are like amazingly responding to this. Now, there was a study that was published in the journal, I'm gonna make sure I say this right, the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, that studied women and men that had obesity and heart failure. So all participants were obese with heart failure, and astronomically, the women lost more weight than the males do. And the big thing that this study specifically pointed out was the difference in fat content that led to the higher weight loss. So women, again, just have a very naturally higher level of fat content. I mean, you think about our breasts, they're fat. That's what it is. And so because of that, our hips, childbearing, they naturally have more fat. And because of this, women were able to hold on to more of the medication for longer and lose more weight. I have seen specifically within the Orderly Meds Facebook group where men will talk about feeling hungrier quicker than women do. I have a viewer here. I don't know if he hasn't, I don't think he's commented recently, but he had been on Mounjaro for months and months and months and months. And he was also lifting weights and he was doing all of the things, but he hadn't lost any weight. And overall, I see that women are better responders to the medication than men are in terms of how much weight they lose, but also in terms of just responding or not responding. And I think that has to do, again, with all of the different hormone levels in female bodies and just the fact that females are more likely to be deficient in hormones than men are. And so it just all makes sense when you think about it that way and you explain it in your mind as we are treating, I've said this before, we are treating a hormone deficiency. We are treating a thing that is not just people, women, men, whoever, being poor eaters or making poor food choices or whatever. We're actually treating something that is real, is a real thing, and is scientifically able to be proven of why. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that a lot of these studies mention, well, the cardiology one specifically that I do want to mention, even though I don't necessarily think that this one can be proven in quite the same way that the other ones can be, like backed up with facts, but most of these mention the fact that women just are under a higher level of societal pressure to look and feel and be a certain way. And so because of that, women may take the whole process more seriously than men do because of the pressure they're under. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know that we can say that women are just under more pressure to be sexy, and because of that, they're willing to take it more seriously. Especially now in today's society where body positivity is such a thing and being who you're meant to be is such a thing. I don't think that we can like scientifically back that up by saying that women are just trying harder because society wants them to look a certain way. Ugh, got choked up there. Because society wants them to look a certain way. But I did think I should mention it because it was brought up, you know, repeatedly. And also the whole thing of there being more women in the study gives women a higher average because you have some of these super responders and then there's less men to balance it all out. And yeah, I guess so. I guess if you want to get a perfectly clear picture, you would need the exact same number of males and females. But again, there's drastically more females who suffer with weight issues, again, because of our hormones. This is all coming so full circle and like turning weight loss on the face of everything that we have thought it to be for our whole lives, right? We always thought we just lacked willpower, or we just, you know, had too many cravings, or we just weren't good enough at saying no to our cravings compared to people that were. And it's sort of with the development of GLP1s, it's sort of come into focus that the whole time it's been a hormone thing, you know? It's kind of cool how medicine and scientific data and research has evolved specifically over the past like 10 to 15 years in terms of weight loss. And I honestly think that most of it started with like fen back in the day, with kind of realizing that weight was tied to your brain. And that is how it was with phentermine or with phentermine. It turns off that part of your brain. It makes you full, yes, but it also, I have a barking dog. It also makes it possible for you to say no to things. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty cool how science has developed over the past 20 years. But yeah, I found this study to be so interesting and also makes so much sense at the same time. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you would enjoy listening to me chat about all the cool things that I find. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know how you are moving your body today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.